Hi, it's Hazel. Welcome to my channel, Hazel and Aka Design. I was innocently minding my own business, doing some of the back room work that we do here in our studios. And it occurred to me that I should turn on the camera because there are some messages that I think are worth sharing. One of them being that sometimes when you're listening to YouTubers, you should do as I'll speak for myself. Do as I say, not as I do. I think that there will be value in this video for people who are beginners and are wondering, are still feeling their way around, trying to grapple with what they should do, how they should do it, when they should do it, and all of that. So I think there will be some value for people like that. There may be some, oh yeah, me too kind of moments for the people who have been at this paper crafting, journal making business for a while and think, oh yeah, I did the same thing. Misery loves company. And it's also reinforcement of the whole use it, don't store it mentality or approach. And I do have a playlist dedicated to videos like that. So basically, I don't even know why. Oh, I know. I was doing a video the other day and I needed some flowers, or I wanted to use some flowers. So I have this giant pouch here with a lot of fussy cut flowers, or, maybe some full page images. I didn't realize till I stumbled across it that I also have a smaller pouch like this that I've very cleverly named Small Flowers. So I thought, okay, let's see what's in there. And this, and I don't think it all fits in the camera shot, is what I came across. So I'm thinking, it's a hodgepodge. I know that many of us continue to struggle with how to store things. Oh, and if you think that's not enough, I also have a great big 3-inch binder with page protectors and baseball card slots that I have flowers, images in. So, number one, that tells you something about how much fussy cutting I did in the beginning. I'm going to, I guess while I'm talking, I should be sorting because that's initially what I start out to do. So you can see that I have images that came out of, sort of those, what do you call them? Those gift books, either mother, daughter, grandmother, those kinds of things. So I'm starting a little pile of that. I have these that came out of a book that clearly have a sort of a Victorian rose kind of theme. So I'm putting all those together. Maybe that doesn't belong there. I have these little teeny ones that I have cut out of is that French? No, maybe Spanish dictionary. Yeah, I think it's Spanish, so I have a bunch of those. So I'm thinking that I will group them just to make it slightly easier to find something, because initially I was poking around. Oh, and here are some digitals in a variety of sizes. Initially I was poking around, and then you realize, I can't see a darn thing here. So I guess one lesson is try, number one, maybe don't fussy cut anything that stands still, because clearly that was probably an error in judgment. Don't feel the need to buy every single digital that comes along. I know I fell into that trap in the beginning. Let's just show you some of these. I don't know what this is. Well, I guess it was probably a digital that was, well, who knows? I don't know. Who knows? This was obviously an orchid one that I bought, and I was so foolish in the beginning. Sometimes I printed things twice and cut them out. These came out of a book, but I kind of put them together anyway. These are more floral digitals in a smaller size because, of course, you know, like if one size is good, then 3 sizes must be better. So I've started a pile for those. So the point I was, oh, here's another orchid. The point I was trying to make is you don't need every single thing, even though it may seem that way in the beginning, especially if you are watching videos where people seem to have unlimited supplies at their fingertips. Number one, it probably happened over time. Number two, they probably regret having all of that stuff. And number three, it doesn't happen overnight. So it could be years, having been years in the making. So more botanical book kind of stuff. So I'll start another little pile for that. Anyway, so you can see that I have spent many hours, days, years, fussy cutting things. Days that I will never get back, to be honest. So it's pointless to do all of that unless you, number one, can find it when you need it, and number two, actually use it when you find it. This was something that came from one of those do-it-yourself wedding invitation kits. And I thought they were cool, and I even inked a few of them. So I'll start a little pile for those. So number one, if I was offering advice to my younger self or to someone brand new, I would say, do not feel the need to have everything. You don't need to buy every book that you see or that someone recommends, because that's way too many. These, I think, came out of off a scrapbooking kind of thing, and they were cute because they looked like postage stamps. So I separated. There were sewing ones, and I put those with the sewing stuff, and the floral ones I kept together. So another little pile. And I think what I'll do is, if it's like something like this, it's very uniform and fairly substantial, I will use one of my little jewelry elastic thingamajiggers. Oh, no, that's not going to work because it wants to curve it. So we'll see. Maybe I'll end up just using paper clips because I don't want to obviously put a curvature into the images. I don't know what this big thing is doing here. Maybe I'll put it in the bigger pouch. Oh, and this pile you didn't see yet. These are all Georgia O'Keeffe. And you know that her images are widely available. They're in these little art books that, or museum art gallery books that feature her work. So I clearly fussy cut around those. I think I have another bunch of these started somewhere because, of course, every time I see one of those books, I buy it. That, too, is a mistake. Don't do that. So by grouping these together, the minute I see, oh, Georgia O'Keeffe, I know what I'm going to, I know what I have there. It's going to be red. It's going to be close-ups or detail paintings of, that's not it, or close-up details off particular flowers. So we'll start a pile over there. Okay, so basically what I was trying to get at is, I love magnolias. And so far that's a one-off, so I'll put that aside. Here, I don't know what I was doing. Oh, these must have been digitals because we see those earlier in a bigger size. I guess I cut them out and attached them to this card that matches. So couldn't these be pockets or some kind of thing in a journal? Of course they could. If I remembered I had them. I have a bunch of these that have little frames around them that must have been somebody's digitals. So I'll put all those together because frankly, I do have another spot where I keep punch outs that I've done. Oh, another thing you haven't seen yet are these. Now, to be honest, I don't know where they came from, but you can tell that they're a little heavier weight, and they kind of have that vintagey vibe happening. So I will put those all together. I remember Fussy cutting these geranium pots. They're the cutest ever. Then these must have, whoops, not that one. These must have been digitals of some kind. Now, shouldn't these be with my blush colored stuff? I could probably use these up if I had them handy there. So I'll do that. Yeah, so just to continue with the advice, I know how people love advice. You need far less than you think you do. I find it totally, like usually you can empathize with what you hear on videos. I know that I can most of the time. But one thing that just I find a head scratcher is when people say, oh, I'm almost out of fussy cut images. And I'm thinking, I have enough for 2 lifetimes. Like, what are you talking about? So there's that. I also have a bunch of these guys that are almost inchy sized. So I've started a pile for those. Very pastel-y. So sometimes, if I were to try to use these up one at a time, it would take me from now until the cows come home. But maybe I can come up with something that would use a bunch of them all in one project. So, and I got a piece of border here. So I'll just continue doing this as I talk. So I think I've started that sentence a few times now. You don't need to buy everything that you see. You don't need to fussy cut everything, unless, of course, you love fussy cutting and maybe intend to offer them for sale to those people who hate fussy cutting. Oh, more orchids. And what is the best way to sort? I mean, I think the person who figures that out will be, sort of, that'll fall under the category of a better mousetrap. It's unlikely to happen because everyone's setup, everyone's space, everyone's whatever is different. Needs are different. Oh, here's a piece of wallpaper. Let's just throw that into the mix too. I also had some of these, I don't know what they were exactly. I've had them so long. Oh, and more of these. But they were all circles and they all had a number on them. I don't know if they were journaling cards of some kind. And they're on a heavier, and they came in a variety of sizes. So I remember thinking, oh, I don't really like circles that much, but maybe I should use them. And I basically glued something on each of them. And obviously, that was also when I believed that everything had to, if you were a real journal maker, you had to ink everything. Oh, so this was, I guess, someone had scanned this book of orchids. Oh, I can't read that date. Love this. Don't know if that was a digital or not. Anyway, oh, and these are cool. They made it into here, into this flower thing, even though they have more geraniums. Even though they have an egg on them. I thought I had another one here somewhere. Anyway, so I glued something small on each of them and obviously inked them, because I was also of the impression that, oh, if you were a journal maker, you had to be inking everything, again, that was standing still. These kinds of things came out of books, and there maybe aren't enough of the same kind to justify, their own grouping. So maybe I'll start a little pile for them. And I realize you probably can't see everything, but I am talking you through it. So, yeah, this and this goes together. Now, you can see that just by taking some time, and of course this does take some time, I will have a much better handle on whatever is in that pouch. So if I want a Georgia O'Keeffe, that's what I'll grab for. If I want something that looks like a stamp, that's what I'll grab for. If I want something that I've actually fussy cut, that is a close-up or just the head of a flower, I've got things like this that I can keep together. Now, that's not the only way, of course, to sort these. They could be sorted by type or by color. If you're a person that uses roses a lot, maybe you want to keep your stuff sorted by, keep all the roses together. If you like these that kind of look like they came out of a botanical journal of some sort, you might want to keep those together. If you love ivy and you think, oh, that would be great to decorate a pocket, it's an attempt, perhaps a feeble attempt, to make this more usable. Number one, to remind me of what I have. These are probably somebody's digitals too. That's just some foliage type greenery. I guess cardstock probably. That's from a book, so I've got my book things here. That's probably a Georgia O'Keeffe. Yes, it is. Then these with borders I'm putting separately. These that are photos I'm kind of putting together. Not quite sure. Here, I punched this out of wallpaper using a circle punch. So, is this not somewhat ridiculous? Where did I put those? Oh, over there. More orchids. Another one of these. And it goes on and on and on. So, again, there are only so many hours, more orchids, only so many hours, more of this, only so many hours in the day. Obviously, I punched in different sizes as well. I can't possibly, even by sorting these, I can't possibly use them all up at once because there's just too many. I can't make a video of every single idea that I do with them because, again, how many, you don't, that's not a good use of your time. If you're paying attention, and I'm not saying I've got that what I'm saying is the be-all, end-all, the only truth, and anything else is wrong. Far from that. But if you're clearly watching this video, so if you're a good student, you are hearing what I'm saying, and you're taking that advice to heart. You're thinking, okay, I don't need to learn every single lesson the hard way. I can learn from some of the mistakes that Hazel has made. And avoid that. It's just like, and I, I've often called myself a lifelong learner, and I truly believe that, and I live it. When I have watched videos, other people's videos, and seen the number, or I translate it into dollars in my mind, that people have invested in, just pick one example, well, two examples, scrapbooking paper or washi tape. I think to myself, OMG. So I have, I don't know, middle of the road sized collection, or I think some people would think I have too much also, but compared to people that practically have rooms, exaggeration, dedicated to their washi collection, I think mine is small. So when I hear people saying, oh, I've got all this washi tape and I don't know what to do. Oh, these were ones that I sort of made with I mounted, this was scrapbooking paper that I cut out and mounted onto black cardstock and turned into postage stamps. That was an idea that someone had used on, or shown on YouTube. So when I see all that washi tape, I think to myself, okay, don't buy all that washi tape. Why would you want to do that and then end up with the same dilemma that some of these people are complaining about? Just avoid the problem in the first place by not doing it. So I think in some regards I've been successful. Some of those lessons I did not really take to heart. And, you can, that's George O'Keeffe, but what is that? Maybe that was a study of hers. That looks like it came from the same place. So, a word to the wise. If you don't buy everything, fussy cut everything, then you won't have this dilemma to deal with. You may have another one of some sort, but that's, that's a different story. And you will actually be using what you have. And I know that some of this is, keeping up with the Joneses and thinking that, to be legitimate, to be successful, to sell journals like, some of the big name people do, I must have all of that. Well, no, you don't. And frankly, figuring out how to source this stuff, pay for this stuff, use this stuff, and then sell this stuff is creates pressure on its own. So, by making some better decisions, this is some kind of, that's a sticker. By making better decisions in the first place, we can skip some of those steps. We can skip some of the pressure. We can save some of that money and time. And again, once you've already, once you have already made the investment in some of these things, unless you can sell them, say the books that I've thrifted or whatever, I am not about to donate them. I'm not at that point. So I continue to feel, trying to think of a good analogy here. You kind of almost feel that dog snapping at your heels, because use it. You bought it, use it. And frankly, I think depending on a person's personality, that can really take the joy out of what we're doing. So I'm just putting these things together because they obviously came from the same place. So again, I don't know, maybe I'm coming across as frustrated or, you know, lecturing or whatever. I don't mean to sound that way. Because obviously, well, these are little cute little stickers. Obviously, everyone is in charge of their own decisions and their own, you know, plan. I'm just saying what my observation, my experience has been. Whether you take that to heart is totally up to you. I don't even know what these are. They might have, oh, you know what? They might have been the cover sheet for a paper pad. You know, where it's kind of a miniaturized version of what's included in the kit. Is that a sticker? Yes. So again, I could put stickers with stickers. Would they get used up quicker that way? I don't know. I don't know. Okay, I think I have virtually finished. Some of these I just don't know what to do. They don't easily fit into categories. So let me reach for some paper clips. Luckily, I have a million of those too. This is just a fraction of them. I keep these handy. I don't need the big ones, so that's fine. Some of the smaller ones. And group these together. Now, I think that by taking time to do this kind of stuff occasionally, it will ultimately save time. I'm probably just going to put these back in that pouch, but it will be so much easier to find anything in there. I love the look of these. Now, initially I looked in for small flowers because I have an idea that, or I have something I need to finish off. So before I put these back in the pouch, I will be picking a pile, because we want cohesion, picking a pile that I will use to finish off that project. And I have been saying in the last few videos that I've done that I will be getting back to occasionally, I'm not going to promise it every week, occasionally publishing videos under the Follow-Up Friday category, because it makes sense that you see, or that I show you, what happens after the camera stops. Because at best, okay, so people do videos a couple of different ways. They either make a million of something and then leave one or two to do in front of the camera, or they make one or two prototypes to make sure that the idea is sound, and then they will do one or two on camera. Well, let's keep these guys together. Or actually, I know I have small digitals over there. And I will bring these piles in closer so you can see them. So, for those of us that maybe are doing a hybrid strategy and, you know, doing a few and then showing a couple and then finishing off the rest, having a follow-up video would sort of address that problem. Because I think, sometimes people can't necessarily make the leap from, oh, I saw her do that, but I don't really know. Maybe I'm still learning. I really don't know how that turned out in the end. So that would help with that. Now these, I think, probably all came from the same place, even though they're different shapes. I will, I guess, group them together. I do have the tiniest ones here that are, well, essentially, I guess, rectangles. Maybe I'll put these circle ones together. These must have come from a William Morris kit. That might be an Artie Mays. So I'll keep those guys together. So I hope that what I've been saying, and I know I repeated myself, both, well, I'd say for emphasis more than anything, is the less we have, the less time we have to spend sorting, storing, organizing, losing, finding these things. So maybe I should put this guy with those guys and that one. The thicker these things get, the less effective the paper clips are. So that I might have to divide that into two. This I think I'm going to be using fairly soon, so I won't bother clipping those together. This is not the same as those stamp ones, but I'll just put it there. Sort of, this will be like the junk drawer equivalent of the stuff I'm sorting. Here's some more William Morris, but different shapes. So I'll clip those together. Oh, here's another one. Not Edith Holden. Georgia O'Keeffe will need her own bigger elastic. Here's another one. So and this is kind of another part of my thought process here. So when I come across something like this, and I see that I only have 4 or 5 pieces, I would gravitate to grabbing something like this first, because then I know I've used it all up. A leaf? Why a leaf? Oh, here's another piece. Why is this here? No idea. Oh, you know what? That probably came from the Georgia O'Keeffe book. That was probably her. This is a bit of a hodgepodge here. Let's put that little floral border there. This and this that came out of somebody's digital. Where are my paper clips? Guess I need a bigger one for this. I will be putting elastics around. Oh, I can put a clip on this one maybe? Or did I say it was too big for a clip? Oh, I said I was going to break that one down. These are those vintagey die cuts. Probably need a bigger clip for this. This, and look at, I have this little thing. I don't know what that is made of, but there, it was like a little tag, I guess, sort of an Asian type tag. I should just use that as in a pocket somewhere instead of hanging on to it. See, this has gotten bent. This could go with my peach stuff too, or not peach, but blush. Maybe that too. And that one. So, you know, maybe as a person is starting a new project box, another suggestion could be, and I'm saying this as much for my own benefit as any beginners out there, maybe another idea would be to go through some of the fussy cuts and pull out those pieces that would work in that particular project. Oh, you know what? These might, no, I think, did I cut? I don't remember. These might be those things that are called, what are they called? Oh, I can't think of it. I've had several kits, pansies and hydrangea. Oh, I think they're called wallies. That might not be the same thing though. Okay, almost done, people. These are the Georgia O'Keeffe. Oh, that's probably going to get bent. Oh, I didn't tuck it in well, that's why. Now, of course, this is not the perfect solution, but it helps because obviously that's a bit loose and stuff can fall out. These, I think, are going into a project box, so maybe I won't bother looking for any kind of, well, no, I guess a paper clip would be good. And if, you know, if things fall out of their category, at least it's just one or two items. It's not, you know, 300 pieces that are loose. I do have another place where I keep these little pre-made, or those stamps. So I will put those in there. Here are all of these. Now, if I divide them up into the 2 or so sizes, then this little elastic should maybe work on this. Oh, this isn't even one of those jewelry elastics, I don't think. Look how cute. These I may have backed. Yeah, I think I did. So they've got a little substance to them. That is being stretched to the limit, though. If I take these out of here and put them there, then these will fit better. This still might be too... No, I guess it's fine. Oh, that's Georgia O'Keeffe. We don't want to put her there. We'll put these guys here. Could that... Oh, these dictionary type things. Let's do some subgrouping here. That should maybe go with the Victorian stuff. This is who knows what. All the ivies. Maybe I'll just let them be by themselves because that would be a different use. And I should probably, hopefully you can see what I'm doing, but if not, you can hear what I'm doing. Group all these guys from an illustrated dictionary, foreign dictionary. Put a clip on them. Put a clip on them. And you know, I think in the beginning I did an awful lot of fussy cutting simply because maybe I didn't know what else to do. It was COVID, so a lot of us we were all locked down for the longest time. Okay, so this is what I ended up with. I don't do as much fussy cutting now. I think maybe subconsciously I recognize that, hey, you haven't used what you've already done. Put it in that way, and that in that way. So again, it's still taking up the same amount of space, but it is and of course, if you put the smaller items in front, they're less likely to get hidden. Yeah, I think I'll keep all these guys in here because, you know, the floral theme is still legit. It's still valid. These could almost, I think I'm going to put these guys with my labels instead. Actually, I suppose these geraniums could go with these because they are really fussy cuts. I've got my peachy, blushy stuff to put with those things. I'm going to use these. I think I'm going to make it my business to use these stickers in the next immediate future. And if I could probably put these with these. A little smaller in size, but that's okay. And then an elastic would fit around these that are shapes other than, except this little outlier here, shapes that are other than rectangles. Or do I want to put some of these guys with those? Maybe I'll pull this one out of here. No, I think I'll keep the circles together. So I hope that some of this rambling has has been useful to you. Trying to find a knit baby clip. Isn't this the cutest thing ever? So I guess regardless of what kind of a storage system you have, sometimes I guess the takeaways from today's video are be cautious about how much you're accumulating. Every so often dip into your storage system to see what you already have. It could be that the thing that you have been, you know, so eagerly seeking already exists and you've just forgotten about it. And use it, don't store it. So thanks so much for joining me. I hope that this has been of some sort of value to you. And we will see you in the next one. Bye.